Hey, what's up guys, it's Michael for Reptile, back with another video today. Today is going to be a bit of one that I've kind of gotten away from, but here we are once again. This is going to be a reptile room update for those of you who are new to the channel. You guys are going to be able to see all the animals in my room right now, and I'll discuss the futures of some of them. If you guys haven't watched this channel before, my name is Mike. Please click that subscribe button if you want to see more of the reptiles, amphibians, and plants on this channel. Alrighty, so this is the door to my room, and we just pop that open, and you guys can see everything in the room currently. My bed's a little bit messy, but that's all the reptile stuff that goes on it. And that is the entire room. Bane is my Crested Gecko, my Nuana cross Nuami locale, and he is a beautiful beast of a lizard. He lives up to his name. He was raised in the shadows. He actually escaped the first day I got him and ran rampant in my basement here for 2 weeks before I ended up finding him. After that, I just never really tamed him down because I was always stressed that he wouldn't eat or anything like that, and I didn't socialize him. So now, needless to say, he's a little bit of a brat. I can't really go in there without him even lunging at me. Like, putting food on his food area, he flies out of the cage for me. But he's still a beautiful lizard. I will make an announcement right now that Bane is for sale. So if you are in Canada and you are looking for a Crested Gecko, please let me know. He is for sale. I'm in no real rush to sell him. If you're in Calgary, even better, or like Alberta somewhere, because I will sell you the whole 24 by 18 by 24 tank. Yeah, but that's Bane. He is a really good lizard. There are just some life changes that are going to be happening here in probably about the next year or so. So I want to really thin down my collection to what I want and what I want to have in the future. I will eventually get another baby and socialize it properly. But Baney boy, you've been real, bud. The baby Uromastyx. I don't know if these have actually been featured in a reptile room tour because they hatched after I did my last one. And now they're almost 2 months old. Actually, they turned 2 months on July 13th. So, in a couple days from now. These guys are my captive bred baby Saharan Uromastyx or Niger Uromastyx. They are extremely cute. It's bedtime for them. They pretty much are like a teenager, basically. They wake up for a couple hours, eat some food, and go right back to bed. You can just see how beautiful these guys are. So cool. I actually ended up selling most of them to a wholesaler, so they won't be in here too much longer, unfortunately. But I will keep one back for now. It's little balloon boy down here. He hasn't really grown a ton for me since I got him or since he hatched, and he's got this very firm stomach. I don't know if he's just impacted or what's going on. So I'm giving him daily baths, and he is defecating, which is nice. That's definitely a good sign. I might end up taking him to the vet and getting some x-rays done. I haven't decided yet. It's just a huge expense for a little guy, so we'll see. If any of you guys have any ideas of what could be going on or what could be wrong with the little dude, definitely let me know. He does eat. He does, well, like I said, he goes to the bathroom and he hangs out with the rest of them. So, oh, look, they're going through their first shed. That's cool. Sweet. So that's the Uromastyx babies. They're really cool pets. I'm so happy I got to captive breed them. And it looks like, with that said, we can actually go over to the parents, which are these guys here. I don't know if she's still out. Well, you can see the male there. That's Hugo, the male. And my mom decided to call the male Olga. So it's Hugo and Olga. She's in there somewhere, but this tank is doing really well. They're doing super well in here. They're both keeping weight. They're both actually getting along really well, which is nice. Unfortunately, I think the male has started to breed the female once again. Yeah, so they might be producing more eggs here pretty soon. I don't know. I'll definitely keep my eyes peeled on the lay bin and on her weight, but they're doing really well. The tank itself is super basic, but functions very, very well. The lighting up here, that is a Arcadia deep heat projector, and then that is a 75 or 50 watt intense basking bulb. They have a 10.0 UVB and then just a daylight bulb for the lighting. So it's working really nicely. Thermostat is all wonky right now. This Inkbird thermostat is working really, really well for their controlling temperature. I don't know if I trust it to do a bunch of tanks, but for one, it's absolutely perfect. One small step down here, we have Sky. Sky's tank is going to be my #1 priority when I get home from my trip to Costa Rica and Phoenix. I leave in a couple days as of filming this. I might even be there as you guys see this, but yeah, Sky's tank really needs an upgrade. I know I said I'd do it during May Madness, but May Madness this year was even crazier than I expected it to be, so it will get done. It will look dope. If you guys have any like inspiration for a blue tongue skink enclosure, and send me pictures on Instagram or on my Facebook page or something like that, and I will give you credit if I decide to take it or use part of it. This guy's a Maruki blue tongue skink, or Meraki. I think it's Maruki blue tongue skink. He's an Indonesian locale, with that said, and he is a beautiful boy. He is a little flighty. He's never bitey or anything like that. He's very well-mannered. I'll take him out for kids and stuff when they come over to check out the reptile room, and yeah, he's just an overall awesome lizard. I'm not going to go into it in this video. I no longer have Bowser, passed on to the Shadow Realm, unfortunately. I made a video, I'll link up now for you guys to go check it out. On a slightly more positive note though, we can go down all the way to the ground and check out Dixon here. Dixon is my Uromastyx Guntheri, or like, I don't know, Gunther's leaf-tail gecko. I'm not really sure what the common name is for him. It's so low, it's kind of hard to film, but yeah, you can see him there. He's a really cool color right now. I don't know, I found out that this bottom area, like this rack, stays at like 72 degrees almost no matter how hot it gets in my room. So a Bronya would go real well down here, but there's just not enough space. Right now it's just the Uromastyx Guntheri. Dixon. Dixon is a very good boy. He eats like a horse, and he's just a really cool lizard. I will probably end up selling him. If you're interested in him, let me know. I would love to get a female and breed these guys, but unfortunately, there's no females in Canada, and the importation is so expensive that I might end up doing it in the future. But if somebody's interested in him, shoot me a message and we can talk. Like I said, I'm not like super interested in selling him, but if somebody has a female or something like that, I'd be willing for him to go to a good cause. But you can see his tank there. There's a big piece of bamboo. There's a live ficus tree. There's a live Ficus elastica, the variegated, which you can see right in front of us right now. It's just the one that's in focus right now. Really cool plant, and is growing really well. And then some wood and some stuff on the bottom. Now the other two tanks right next to Dixon are just plant tanks. And there we have some bromeliads and a couple orchids. In here we have, again, a couple orchids, and then just some plants, some wood. There's an ant plant there, which is kind of cool. That one right there, mounted onto the driftwood, is actually an ant plant. Really cool plant. I have a ton of them. If you guys are in Canada and are interested in some, let me know, because I have a whole container of like 30 of them. So, little 12 by 12 by 12 that houses 2 mourning geckos. You can see one right under the light there. Oh, and you saw him move too. So that's a mourning gecko. If you guys don't know what they are, they're a parthenogenic species of gecko. I do plan to make a video on parthenogenesis. I know you guys were super interested and super keen on a video of that when I mentioned it. I will make one, don't worry. It's a long process to get all the science behind it accurate and portrayed in a way that is understandable by most people rather than scientists. So you definitely can see. You can see up there in the top corner, those are 2 eggs. So parthenogenesis strikes again, and she laid 2 eggs, so they are reproducing in here. I can't wait to have some little baby mornings. They're such cool lizards. As for the tank, like I said, it's a 12 by 12 by 12. It does have a glass lid. There is again, another Ficus elastica in the back there. It's just not the variegated form. This up front is a philodendron, and then this is just like a Gesneriad of some kind. At the back, there's also a snake plant branch that I broke off and dug a hole in for it to hopefully reproduce and start growing in here, but obviously a snake plant will get way too big for a 12 by 12 by 12. So that's the morning geckos. They're super cool. I would definitely look into them if you don't know of them or don't have any already. And here is our boy, the baby yellow Aki that Cody and I produced, or Cody produced and I reaped the rewards of, I suppose. He was actually attacked by Emma Sampson's little dude, so it kind of ripped up his head a little bit. I'm not worried. I know he'll make it through. Like, he's all kind of scabbed over and stuff, so he looks a little ratty and tatty, but a couple sheds from now, he should look back to normal. There might be a little scar or something, but beyond that, he is doing very, very well. He's a lot smaller than the Akis that I even sold before that. His tank is kind of hard to get a shot of because there's just the one basking light right now. But it's a 20-gallon tank, and he's just a little baby, so I'm planning to get another 36, and I might even house him in the Uromastyx tank up there. Just in the meantime, when he's growing and not quite ready to go on a 4x2x2, especially, it's more for my protection so he doesn't get out, because an adult can't get out of there, but a baby probably could. So, yeah. I don't have a ton to say about him. If you guys have any name suggestions, hit me with any name suggestions that you might have for this guy, and we will look through the comments and see if you guys have any cool ones. Alrighty, next up on the Wheel of Fortune is this little dude. This is Sheldon, the Hermans Tortoise. That's his pen, you can see there. That is a solar glow, so there's UV coming from there. That is also a UVB bulb. And then this is just for light for the Dracantia there, but it has grown into the light and has since burned, so I might just trim it back and see if it'll grow a couple new shoots. It is a 5 foot by 2 foot by 16 inch tall pen, and that's kind of the smallest I'd recommend for a pretty much adult Hermans Tortoise. Okay, can I film you not at the front of the tank? There. Wow, look. A shell. A wild shell. Wow. Wow, look at you. As you can see, I feed him on a slate tile or in a food bowl right there. And, yeah. He eats lettuce. He eats Missouri tortoise diet. He eats squash. He's a very well-fed boy. My parents love him to death. I mean, I love him and care for him very much. But he's so annoying. Aren't you, Shell? But yeah, that's his tank. It's super basic, and it works just the way I want it to. I'll go up there and just quickly update. These are all plants. These are all isopods and springtails. That is a Crested Gecko. This is a uninhabited tank as of now. Those are dart frogs, so let's get on to Tig here. Tig is one of the, I won't say OGs of the room because she's not, but she is certainly one of the favorites of you guys from what I can tell. Her tank is 18 by 18 by 24, or it's actually 17 by 17 by 24. It's weird dimensions, but yeah. She's got UV and everything in her tank for her. You can see her here. Oh, did I pinch you a little bit? Sorry, girly. There you go. She's not fired up at all. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you can see I have a picture of her on Instagram, and she's like black and orange. At some point, I might look into redoing her tank and just giving her a background, but this is a totally adequate tank for a Crested Gecko. There's nothing that really needs to change for it to be more well-suited to them as far as I can tell. This is the holy grail of my vivariums. This is by far the nicest vivarium I've ever set up. I think it looks sweet. I'll probably put in some dart frogs in here, but right now it's basically just like a grow out. I have some very rare orchids in here, especially in Canada. The Macotes petola is an extremely sought after orchid. I don't remember the name of that plant. Right behind it, that guy there. It is, again, another extremely sought-after plant. And then a bunch of these. These are all miniature orchids that are for sale if people are interested in Canada and you want some cool dwarf orchids in your tank. These are all for sale. I mean, I don't have any problem keeping them because they make my tanks look sweet. So, yeah, this is just a display viv. It's a custom-built tank. I built the whole thing from scraps of glass. Beyond that, we can go over to here, and there might not be anybody out anymore. There we go. What's up, dude? These are one of my species of dart frogs that I keep. These are Ufaga pumilio almirente. So these are a obligate egg-feeding dart frog. There's a couple females bounding around back there. Hello, girlies. Yeah, I mean, these guys are just a really cool frog. They're quite loud typically, especially right after you water or miss their tank. They rise from the ashes and start screaming, so it's kind of cool. Their tank, I really don't love this tank very much, but it's grown in and they breed in it, so I can't really tear it down or move them because it's just basically a self-sustaining tank at this point. 18 by 18 by 24. Nice setup. One of my oddly favorite tanks in the room, and of course it's not mine, I didn't build it, but I put most of the plants in here, so I get that credit at least. These are the dart frog tank. These are the Dendrobates tinctorius citronella. I mean, you just can't beat a frog that nice, right? Like, they're so bold, they're always out, and their tank is doing phenomenal. There are 4 in here. A pair is for sale. I have 2 males and 2 females, so that's pretty sweet. And they are laying eggs, so I can't really complain as to how the tank's doing because, I mean, it is just doing really, really well. Yeah, this tank is looking nice and lush and green, and that's something that you can't complain about when you're in the frog hobby. Now, I only have a couple individuals left to do. We have Striker, the OG. Yeah, Striker's probably not going to come out right now. He's hiding under there, and he's a little brat, so he might not end up coming out. But his tank is looking sick. I can't complain with that. The tank is doing very, very well. It's all natural. All these plants are all living and breathing and growing, which is even better. So it's not much to complain about. He's got a couple hides. Since I put him in a naturalistic setup, it's so cool to watch their natural behaviors. Whether they'll fill up an area or he totally excavated under this rock. Like it allows him to act as another hide. He goes under there. Thankfully, I set it up and anticipated that. So I set it up in a way that none of the rocks are going to cave in. They're not going to fall on him. No matter what he moves, like they're all balanced on each other. So yeah, that's the tank. I think it looks beautiful right now. And we can move on to the turtles, but I just have to bring them down. Alrighty, and here are the last 2 reptiles I have in my room. We have Drax in this container, and in the other container, we have Quill. I will give name credit to these guys, Drax and Quill, to my girlfriend. Thank you very much. And of course, as you guys know, it comes from Guardians of the Galaxy. These guys are Vietnamese black-breasted leaf turtles. They are about a year old. No, they were born in September, so not quite a year old. But they just look incredible. I will be upgrading them, obviously. This is just their grow-out containers. I'm thinking after the Aki moves out of there, then I'll put them in a tank similar to that size. But I'm also just considering buying a new tank for them. So, yeah. These guys are so cool. I love them so much. I do have other videos on my channel of me feeding them. They are voracious little eaters, but I did kind of scare them bringing them down and opening up their bins, so that will be that for right now. But those are the last 2 animals I have in my room. These guys are my favorite, I will admit. I do have a favorite, and these are them. They're an endangered species of turtle that is really hard to come by in Canada, so I'd really be thrilled if I could reproduce these at some point. But that's going to do it for me, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a really long video, but I haven't done a reptile room tour in a very long time. And I hope you guys enjoy the episodes that came before this as well as after this. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you click that like button. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, leave them in the comment section because I do reply to pretty much every single comment. If you do want to follow my adventures to Costa Rica and the rest of the development of this room, make sure you click that subscribe button and play Ding Dong Ditch with the doorbell next to it, and that way you get notified every single time I post a video. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Later.